traditional food service pricing methods. Designated position term revenue manager is not as well recognized in the food service industry as it is in the lodging industry. In fact, many services operators would equate the duties assigned to the revenue manager in food service with those of the person responsible for determining menu prices and perhaps for the marketing or advertising of the business. Of course, the proper determination of menu price is very important. Nasabi dito na ang paglalagay ng tamang presyo para sa ating produkto at serbisyo ay mahalaga. Bakit? Sapagkat dito nakasaalang-alang kung ang isang business ay magiging successful ba o hindi. Kaya naman, right pricing matters, ika nga. Next naman is, in most table service restaurants, such a guest would assess a mandatory service charge of 10 to 20%. This charge would be automatically added to the customer's bill. The result is the service charge effectively serves as a price increase for a larger sale. Hotels routinely discount for large sales. Kapag naman halimbawa, kumain tayo sa isang restaurant, hindi lang yung pagkain yung binabayaran natin doon. Automatic na meron ng ibang charge. For example, yung service nila and yung place. Restaurants either increase prices for large sales or leave their prices unchanged. They do not generally discount their price for large sales. For a second example of pricing differences, consider the situation that exists when on a day in the future, it is common knowledge that all of the hotel rooms in the area will be sold out. Examples of such might include those with large supporting events, festivals, or graduations. On days like this, you can be sure hoteliers have either increased their room prices or at least have eliminated the ability of their guests to buy rooms at a discount. For restaurateurs, on the other hand, such a high demand day means two things will be true. One, they will be very busy and the customer waiting times to get in will be long. Two, they will maintain their normal menu pricing structures. Sabi dito, yung mga restaurant daw ay nagtataas sila ng presyo para lumaki yung kita or hindi nila ito binabagot, hindi sila basta-basta nagbibigay ng discount para mas lumaki yung kita. And dahil dun, mas madaming mag-a-avail nito and hindi necessary yun. Tapos, kapag naman po peak season, mas tumataas yung sales nila. Kumbaga, sinasamantala nila yung dagsaang customer. Moving forward, product cost percentage. Product cost percentage pricing philosophy established their selling prices based on primarily on the prices they themselves pay for the ingredients that make up their menu items. This pricing approach can be defended for two important reasons. The first is the successful restaurateurs know the value of serving good food. Good food usually costs more to produce than lower quality food. Ito naman pong product cost percentage, ito yung madalas natin gamitin sa mga, for example, maliliit na business, kung saan nag-establish lang tayo ng presyo ayon sa ginagastos natin sa ingredient para sa ating menu. And lagi nating iisipin na mas mabenta yung masarap na may presyo kaysa sa mura nga, di naman swak sa panlasa. The second piece of logic used by those who set menu prices based on product cost relates directly to the four cost categories of most important to them. Dito naman po, meron tayong tinatawag na four cost categories. Ito ang product, labor, other expenses, at profit. To illustrate how these four categories are viewed, assume that a single dollar of revenue represents 100% of the income that could be devoted to them. It follows that a portion of a dollar must go to pay for the product sold, another portion for the labor required to prepare and serve the item, another portion for all the expenses required to operate the business, like dishes, napkins, rent, marketing, utilities, loan payments, and the like. As Wenzel clearly pointed out, a final amount representing the operation's profit must remain. If any of the first categories take too large a percentage of the income dollar, not enough will be left over to pay planned profits to the owner of the business. To ensure that pricing takes into account both of these concerns, the cost of the product and the product cost as a percentage of revenue, restaurateurs develop and utilize the following pricing formula. Just that. Dito naman po, sinasabi na upang ma-illustrate yung 4 categories, i-assume natin na yung matatanggap mo na pera galing sa business mo ay nagre-represent sa 100% na income. Nakatuon para dito. Example, bawat sentimo na kinikita mo ay may katumbas na halaga. Hindi porket kinita mo na yun, kailangan mo pa itong hati-hatiin. Sa 4 na kategorya, first is yung portion para sa mga nagastos mo. Sa mga nagamit para mabuo yung products. Next is yung labor. Cost na tinatawag or bayad sa mga taong gumawa ng product mo. Third is yung mga expenses na kailangan para mabuo at mag-operate yung business mo. At according kay Wenzel, yung last portion, yun yung last final amount and yun yung nagre-represent sa kita o tinubo ng business mo. Kung sakali man na yung 3 categories na nauna or yung expenses ay mas mataas at walang halos matira sa profit, wala nang matitira para sa owner ng business. Kaya para masiguro na yung pricing ay nakaangkop sa presyo ng produkto at porsyento ng revenue, kailangan mag-utilize at mag-develop ng formula na aangkop dito. Dito naman po, ito yung formula na gagamitin natin upang makuha natin yung product cost percentage. Ito yung cost of product sold divided by all products sales is equals to product cost percentage. Yun po. Next naman po, upang makuha naman natin ay yung item food cost percentage. Ganun din, di-divide lang din natin item food cost divided by selling price equals to item food cost percentage. Same lang din po dito. I-divide lang din po natin upang makuha natin yung selling price. It is easy to say that this method of pricing is based simply on the idea that an item's cost should be predetermined percentage of its selling price. When operators apply the formula, they carefully determine the cost they will incur, then use that information to determine target percentage for each cost category. When the targets have been established, the product's percentage target dictates the minimum price decision. Increases in cost in any category can easily be factored into the percentage target to create new ratios that still yield profit producing totals. To illustrate the process, assume that an operator created the following cost category targets. Dito naman po sa method na ito, mas madali natin makikita na yung pricing na ginamit ay nakabase dapat sa idea ng item cost. And dapat napaunang natukoy na porsyento. Pag in-apply natin yung formula, kailangan matukoy ng mabuti yung magiging cost ng product. Dahil ito yung magiging numerator, then gagamitin natin yung information na yun para matukoy yung target percentage para sa denominator. Kasi yung cost category, para sa cost category, pag-establish na natin yung target, yung menu ay yung menu pricing decision, makukuha na natin yun. Also, pag na-establish na yung target, nung product percentage na ang magdidikta para sa menu pricing. Yung pagtataas ng cost in any category ay magre-resulta sa percentage targets. para mag-create ng bago or mas lower ratios that still yield profit producing total. And also, para ma-illustrate yung process, i-assume natin that the operator created the following cost category targets. Like for example, meron tayong example dito. Assume also that the operator has developed a menu item that can be produced for $1.50 in ingredients cost with a targeted product cost percentage for that item of 30%. The pricing formula would be applied as. So, ganun lang din yung gagamitin natin formula. Item food cost divided by item food cost percent equals yung selling price. Yung $1.50, di-divide lang natin dun sa given natin na 40% galing sa product, and ang kalalabasan niya is $3.75. Thus, in this example, the recommended selling price with a $1.50 item food cost and a 40% targeted food cost percentage is $3.75. Experienced food service operators know that a second formula for arriving at appropriate selling price based on predetermined product cost percentage goals can also be employed. This method uses a pricing factor that can be assigned to each desired food cost percentage. Dito naman, sinasabi na yung mga dating food service operators or yung mga bihasa na alam na nila yung second formula at ito yung ina-apply nila para makuha yung tamang selling prices based doon sa goals na product cost percentage. In case na inappropriate yung unang formula, yung method na ito ay gumagamit ng pricing factors or multiplier na ina-assign para ma-reach yung tama at eksaktong food cost percentage na kinakailangan. Next is, dito sa example na ito, ganun din. Yung given na formula is, di-divide lang din natin para makuha yung hinahanap natin. Itong $1 divided by desired item food cost percent equals pricing factor. Yun na nga. Yung desired item food cost percent is yung 40%, yung given. Yan. In figure 10.1, details a pricing factor table for desired item food cost. Percentages from 20% to 45%. A pricing factor, when multiplied by the item's cost, will result in a selling price that yields the desired item cost percentage. For example, the pricing factor of 2.5 multiplied by an item food cost of $1.50 will yield a selling price that is based on a 40% food cost. Dito naman sa pinapakita ng figure 10.1, ang pricing factor table para sa desired item food cost percentage mula 20% hanggang 45%. Sa pricing factor, pag inimultiply ito sa item cost, it will result sa selling price that yields the desired item cost percentage. So, dito naman sa formulang ito, times naman yung gagamitin natin. Pricing factor times item food cost equals selling price. So, yan. Kita natin sa example na yan. Last is sales mix and menu mix. Sales mix is the share of various products or services to be sold in business with respect to its total sales, and is one of the key decisions to be taken because demand and profitability vary from one product services to another. This mix needs to be identified for efficient business operations in order to maximize revenue and profitability. Sinasabi dito na the importance of sales mix in a business is that this mix needs to be identified para mas maging efficient and effective ang isang business operation. At para din ma-maximize yung revenue and profitability ng isang business. dahil ang sales mix ay ang nag-share ng products at services na kailangan maibenta sa business with respects to its total sales. At ito ay isa sa mga mahalagang decision na kailangan gawin dahil ang demand at profitability of a business vary from one product of service to another. Next is menu mix. Is a menu that has a balanced and strategic developed so that you have varying and attractive profit margins across the menu. An example of this is having a low-cost item and high-cost item sold at close difference in sales price to the customer. Ang menu mix naman ay yung menu na merong balance strategy na na-develop para magkaroon ng iba't ibang kaaya-ayang profit margin across the menu. Halimbawa nito ay yung pagkakaroon ng murang halaga ng item kumpara sa mataas na halaga ng item na ibebenta sa customer base sa kaunting pagitan ng presyo. At yun lamang po at maraming salamat.
Traditional food service pricing methods. Product cost plus. A product cost plus menu pricing system simply consider an item's product cost plus any number of additional cost-related factors. When determining selling price, one of the most popular cost plus pricing system involves the calculation of menu item. Prime cost. A prime cost is simply the product cost of menu item plus the cost of the labor required to produce it. The item price cost is then used to establish its selling price. Essential RM terms. Product cost. Any of number pricing methods that consider product cost as well as one or more additional costs when determining selling price. Product cost. These costs include direct labor, direct materials, consumable production supplies, and factory overhead. Product cost can also be considered the cost of the labor required to deliver a service to a customer. Prime cost. The sum of the product cost and labor costs required to produce a menu item. Prime cost is the total direct cost of production including raw materials and labor. Next is alternative components of cost plus pricing system. Menu price, product cost plus variable labor cost. Product cost plus variable labor cost. Product cost plus total item labor cost. Product cost plus selected controllable expenses. Product cost plus desired per item gross profit. Contribution margin. Interestingly, the next significant menu pricing related development was initiated outside the hospitality industry by Boston Consulting Group. BCG is a global management consulting firm founded by Harvard Business School alumnus Bruce Henderson in 1963. In the early 1970s, BCG created and popularized its growth share matrix at 2x2 chart matrix designed to assist large corporations in deciding how to allocate cash among their business. Using pre-established definition of profitability, BCG showed business how to categorize each of their individual business units as a star cash cow, or dog, based on its ability to generate cash. The business leaders would then use this information to allocate future financial resources among the business units. Accordingly, the BCG growth share model rapidly gained popularity in a variety of industries. In 1982, Michigan State University School of Hospitality professor Michael Casavana and Donald Smith published Menu Engineering, a practical guide to menu pricing. In it, Casavana and Smith argued that contribution margin was a more important factor in identifying profitable menu items than was product cost per. Contribution margin, the profit that remains after a product cost is subtracted from its selling price. Ito yung formula para makuha yung contribution margin. Selling price minus product cost equals contribution margin. Their approach, which they labeled menu engineering, the value of menu items that sold well and that had CM levels after defining popularity as the frequency of menu items, sale and identifying those menu items with high, above average or low. Below average, popularity and CM levels. Casabana and Smith modified Henderson 2x2 matrix somewhat and propose 4 categories of menu items as follows. Stars, menu items with high popularity and high contribution margin. Flow horses, menu items with high popularity and low contribution margin. Puzzles, menu items with low popularity and high contribution margin. Dogs, menu items with low popularity and low contribution margin. Next is product cost plus contribution margin desired equal selling price. Ito naman yung formula para makakuha mo yung selling price. For example, chicken menu item, product cost $3.50, desired contribution margin. Pagpaplasin mo lang yun para makuha mo yung selling price.
So again, what is cost-based pricing? Cost-based pricing is calculating the cost of the product and then adding a percentage markup to determine the price. Ito rin ay easiest way para makalculate kung ano ba dapat ang price ng isang product or menu or service sa food service. At a first glance, this strategy appears good because most of business use this strategy. So bakit? Kasi nai-ensure nito na maibabalik yung cost ng isang product and then gain profit at the same time. Tapos, unlike differential pricing, every customer will charge at same amount. Walang price discrimination, whether the customer have a budget or no budget. Dito, sinasabi na ang cost-based pricing daw is not a good approach when it comes to food service business. Internationally known management consultant Peter Drucker pointed out a 5 actions that must be avoided if business is to be successful. Itong 5 dapat iwasan sa business ay tinawag niyang 5 deadly sins. Isa na nga dito yung cost-based pricing. So bakit? For example, yung isang business naglabas ng product with cost-based price and then as soon as they have introduced the product, they have to start cutting the price. They have to redesign the product at enormous expense. They have to take losses and often have to drop a perfectly good product because it is priced incorrectly. Ginagawa nila yun kasi kailangan nilang ma-recover yung cost and to make a profit. Commenting of the fallacy of believing that the role of a selling price is to recover an operator cost and to ensure making a profit, Peter Drucker correctly states, customers do not see it as their job to ensure manufacturer a profit. So as a customer, wala naman talaga tayong pakialam kung malugi ba yung seller or business. Mas concerned tayo sa price, value, and quality na makukuha natin sa isang product. Gusto natin lagi makakamura kasi nga, the first place, hindi naman natin alam yung exact cost ng isang product. Kaya pag nakita natin na hindi pasok sa budget natin, sasabihin agad natin, mahal. So dahil nga ganun, kunti lang makaka-afford, kunti lang bibili, resulting in either price cutting or bababaan na lang yung quality. Malulugi sila. So, kaya sinasabi dito na ang cost-based pricing daw ay hindi magandang approach i-apply sa business. Thus, a legitimate question for professionals in emerging field of food service revenue optimization is rather stark in its simplicity. Is food service pricing essentially an accounting issue or marketing function? The author would answer the question as neither. We would propose that food service pricing and revenue optimization strategy is simply too important to be considered as only one among many of the important topics to be addressed by either operations, finance, or marketing professionals. Sinasabi lang dito kung gaano kahalaga ang food service pricing. It's either an accounting issue or marketing function. This matter requires skilled operation, finance, and marketing professional and knowledgeable about RM. Food service revenue and price are not synonyms. Ito yung difference between revenue and price. Yung revenue ay yung profit or kita or amount spent by the guest or customer. Then price naman, alam na natin yan, refers to the amount charged to a guest or customer. Ito yung formula on how to compute revenue. Selling price times number sold equals total revenue. From this formula, the two important components of total food service revenue are easily identifiable. Selling price is one component, the other is the number of items sold. In food service, variation in selling price will directly affect the number of items sold. As is true in the lodging industry, selling price and number sold are interrelated in food service industry. Recall from chapter 2, in many cases, as price increases, the number of items sold at that price will decrease. Given sufficient demand, the opposite is also true. As price decreases, the number of items sold at the price will increase. For this reason, price increases or decreases must be evaluated based on their impact on total revenue generation and not on the number that represent the final selling price. To illustrate, assume you are the RM for a chain of specialty coffee shops. Due to rising ingredients costs, you are considering raising the price of the breakfast pastries sold in your shops from $1.99 to $2.29. Figure 10.4 illustrates the possible effects of this price increases on the total revenue in a single unit that has been selling 200 pastries per day. Note especially that in at least one scenario, increasing price has the effect of decreasing total revenue. Figure 10.4, possible result of pastry price increase. Yun, sabi nga kanina, yung original price ng pastry is $1.99 at ang number of sold per day is 200 with a total revenue of $398. Ito na yung mga possible result of pastry new price. From $1.99 to $2.29. Tapos nagkaroon ng increase in customer means increase in number of sold which is now 250 per day. At ang naging revenue ay $572.50. So ang mangyayari is nagkaroon ng increase sa revenue. Next is the new price pa din. $2.29 pero yung customer ay same pa rin means yung nasold mo na item ay same sa original price. Total revenue is $458. Increase pa din. Next scenario is new price with the increase in customer count. Less number of sold pero ang revenue ay same sa original price. Parang wala ring nangyari pag sa pagtaas ng price, if it means losing a customer. Dito sa last, makikita natin yung downside ng cost-based pricing pag hindi pinag-isipan at pinagplanuhan ng mabuti. Kasi tayo as a customer, gusto natin na katumbas ng ibabayad natin yung item na makukuha natin or higit pa. Kaya naman yung mga food service managers, alam nila na increasing prices due to their cost without giving added customer value will no doubt result in higher menu prices, then resulting in lowered total revenue due to reduced customer count. As illustrated in figure 10.5, a food service organization chooses from two basic options when pricing its product. The first relies on cost and result in menu prices desired by the operator. The operator hopes in such a case is that guests will agree that price is fair and represent good value. While hope is an appropriate strategy when playing slot machine or buying lottery ticket as a business strategy, this is not one of the best. This is especially apparent when hope is based on the questionable position that guests view the cost you incur as synonymous with the value you deliver. They do not. Option B is in figure 10.5 recognizes that guests ultimately determine menu prices based on the value delivered to them. Note also, however, this option includes recognition of allowable cost. Which is the amount an organization can spend to produce a product given their own guest perception of the product's value. Option A, production cost, determines desired menu price. Option B, value proposition, dictates allowable menu price and cost.
Sa competition, ang sabi dito, porket tinaasan ang presyo ng iyong competitor ang kanyang mga produkto, agad bababaan ang iyong presyo para lang ito'y mabenta. Kailangan mo din magbigay ng magandang serbisyo, magbuo ng magandang relasyon sa iyong mga guests upang iyong produkto ay tangkilikin at balik-balikan. Service level, alam naman natin siguro ito, pag magandang serbisyo mo, mas lalo kang tatangkilikin. Halimbawa nga dito ay yung pagbili mo ng Coke or soda sa mga tindahan na mura mo lang mabibili, at ang iba naman ay mahal sa restaurant dahil may magserserve sa iyo. Isa pang halimbawa dito ay yung Caesar salad, isa itong tanyag na salad mula sa Tijuana, Mexico, dahil may table side preparation sila ang ginagawa, dahil dito nag-i-increase yung price. Sa guest type naman, may mga guest na mas gustong magandang iyong service at willing to pay sila kahit mamahal kasi ang habol nga nila ay yung experience, at meron naman guest na mas gusto sa mabilis na serbisyo o agad na ibibigay ang iyong produkto at willing din sila magbayad doon. Dito naman sa product quality, katulad din ng service level, kung maganda ang serbisyo mo or maganda mo i-present yung product at kahit hindi gaano kamahal yung produkto mo, pwede ka pa din mag-presyo ng mataas kasi nga may mga guest na hindi na sa quality ng food nakapokus, pwede din sa ambience ng place tapos unique yung presentation mo.
Portion size. In a cost-based pricing system, portion size plays a large role in determining menu pricing because size directly affects cost. Portion size can also play a critical role in a value-based differential pricing system. Careful readers will recognize that variation in portion size are simply a form of product versioning, a classic differential pricing technique. Versioning based on a portion size, however, is too often applied in the form of bigger is better. The approach leads to increased food cost, increased food waste, and increased customer waste as well. Not good. Ang portion size daw po may pinakamalaking gampanan when it comes to menu pricing sa cost-based pricing system. Alam naman po natin na when there's a price, there's a cost, because size directly affect cost, and it also play critical role in the value-based differential pricing system. Na-discuss din po ito sa chapter 4, a classic differential pricing techniques. Mare-recognize mo ito, and its variation in portion size ay simply form of product versioning when you read the chapter 4. Yung product versioning daw po ay mabibase sa portion size. Sabi dito, the bigger the better, na mag-increase ng food cost, waste at customer waste at well na hindi maganda. Factors affecting value perception in food services. Great chefs have always known the guests eat with their eyes first. This relates to presenting food that is visualized appealing, and also relates to portion size. A burger and fries that fill an 8-inch plate may will be lost on an 11-inch plate. Portion size then is a function of both product quantity and presentation. It is in the area of presentation that value perception can be increased with no increase in cost. It is no secret why successful cafeteria chains use smaller than average dishes to plate their food. For their guests, price and value statement come across loud and clear. In some dining situation, particularly in an all-you-care-to-eat operation, the presentation principle again hold true. The proper dish size is just as critical as the proper size scope or ladle when serving the food. Increasingly, today's customer prepare lighter food with more choices in fruits and vegetables. The portion size of this item can be increased at a fairly low increase in cost. At the same time, average sweetened beverage sizes are increasing, as are the size of some side items such as French fries. Again, this tend to be lower cost items within responsible limit and with an eye toward customer long-term good health. This can be good news for the food server RM if prices can be increased to match the larger size in the very best restaurant. However, giving guests so much food they simply can't eat it all should not be the goal. Rather, the goal should be the delivery of high quality food, beautiful presented and serviced in a manner that maximizes guest perception of value. Evaluation of portion size and presentation is an excellent example of how RMs can influence a food service organization operational method. In conjunction with production personnel, even menu items served should be analyzed with an eye toward determining if the quality being served is an optimum quantity. Just as importantly, each item should be analyzed for its presentation before, not just after, its price is established. Great chefs have always known that guests eat with their eye first. Alam na agad ng isang magaling na chef kung ano ang gusto ng kanyang guest. Presenting food that's visually appealing, di ba? You'll always represent your best to your guest. Ganun din ang isang chef. But syempre, depende mo din ito sa portion of size. Hindi pwedeng sobra o kulang. Need nito lagi na mag-fit in both product quantity and presentation. Portion size increase can increase value perception, pero hindi pwedeng mag-increase pa ng mas mahal ang cost nito. Walang sikreto ang successful na cafeteria chain na gumagamit pa ng mas maliit pa ang average than dishes to plate their food. Ngayon, mas prepare ng mga customer ang mga lighter food, maraming choices na gulay at prutas. Ang portion prices nito can increase sa sapat at mababang cost. At ang mga average sweetened beverage naman ay increase din, like French fries, hindi go lang mga deliver na pagkain. na hindi makakain ng guest. Ang totoo na goal ay ang magpa-deliver high quality na pagkain, maayos na at mag-serve ng may manner na magma-maximize ng guest perception value. Evaluation of portion size and presentation ay isa sa mga excellent example ng RMs kung paano sila mag-influence ng food organization operation method. With the personnel, lahat ng menu item serve ay dapat ma-analyze kasi importante na bawal isang item ay kailangan talagang ma-analyze hindi pagkatapos kundi bago to be the price established. Ambience. If people ate out only because they were hungry, few restaurants would be open today. There are certainly lower cost ways to avoid hunger. In fact, people eat out for a variety of reasons, many of which have very little to do with an operation food or its cost. Fun, companionship time, limitation, adventure, and variety are just a few reasons dinner site for eating out rather than eating at home. For the RM whose operation provides an attractive ambience, menu prices can reflect this. Ambience means the character and atmosphere of a place. In essential RM terms, ambience is a feeling, character, or mood associated with a specific location. Ang mga tao daw po hindi lang sila kumakain sa mga kainan, restaurant, dahil gutom sila kasi marami pa naman way para sila ay makakain. Like pwede silang magluto sa kanilang bahay, karamihan sa mga kumakain sa labas o restaurant ay meron silang ibang mga purpose like mag-enjoy or have fun, try some new, the view, and yung ibang biggest impact is pag affordable and quality ang pagkain at services. Karaniwan, sila yung madalas puntahan ng tao. The operator that provides a pleasing and popular ambience is selling much more than food and thus will be able to justify increased prices. RMs must recognize, however, that food service operation that count on ambience alone to carry their business generally starts out well but are not ultimately successful. Ambience may draw guests to a location the first time, but excellent product quality and understanding service go much farther over the long run than do overly clever restaurant design. Increasingly, while many food service operations do understand the importance of visual design, establish ambience, to few fully understand the role their service play. The importance of quality service, the process of creating and maintaining ambience was pointed out well by Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz when asked in an interview. Yung prices and ambience is sobrang dikit nila sa isa't isa para mag-work. Ang isang kainan and RM work hard for it para makapag-provide ng pleasing and popular ambience para tumugma sa increased price. Good food service ay malaking tumulong din sa ambience. Like maganda nga yung ambience mo, if hindi naman satisfied yung customer mo sa food and services, wala din. Isa pa ang location and design. It helps a lot if you settled all of it to achieve and pleasing ambience na gusto mo at ng mga customer mo. Sabi ni Schultz, sinasabi niya dito na napaka-ironic ng retailer and restaurant Liberty almost doing their best para sa customer services but still mababa pa rin ang bayad sa kanila. Yan yung reason kung bakit tinawag niya itong mediocre. Hindi ito maganda para sa public dahil nga sa experience na ito. He stated then na they pay their partner well in any level. May mga program din sila like in 1998 mag-offer sila ng part-time employees comprehensive health care. In 1991 naman, they offered stock options na magbe-benefit sa kanila na mas maging committed and incredible productivity. Kahit sino naman siguro, if they treated you, will you work hard and get motivated. Katulad ng Starbucks, alam natin na sikat ito at isa sa pinaka nagsasell na mahal na kape. Napakamahal nito pero isa ito sa successful dahil sa napakaganda ng ambience nito, napaka-creative. The facilities and reinforced will train din ang mga tauhan nila at nagbabayad din sila ng maayos sa kanilang mga staff. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Meal period. In some cases, diners expect to pay more for an item served in the evening than for the same item served at a lunch period. That is to say, in the meal period, the price is more expensive for dinner than for lunch, even if the item to be served is the same. Sometimes this results in giving smaller portion sizes of food. That is because offering smaller portion sizes enables chefs to create more dishes with less ingredients. This is especially important if the ingredients come at a higher price. Guests should clearly understand why a menu item's price changes with the time of day. The guest should know why and what is the reason for the price change. Sometimes the price goes up and they don't expect it. So the guest must know or understand why there is a change, because otherwise we will not be able to provide guest satisfaction, nor will it be good to implement the day part called. Day part is a subsection of the day during which a specific menu type may be served, meaning it refers to aspect segment of the day and what is served during those hours. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner are major day parts. Location. Location can be a major factor in determining price. Some examples of these are amusement parks or spot arenas. Because if you build a business, or let's say, if a food service operation in this location near a crowded places or places where any frequent visitor visit, you will certainly have a large number of customers. In the same way, if you have a lot of customers, it can affect pricing strategies due to potentially high demand. The exclusive nightclub, the trendy bar, and the hard-to-get-into restaurant are just a few examples of this. Another, of course, even though we have become customers, we also expect better or more trendy spot or location with the place where we eat. Even sometimes, what we almost seem to be paying for is the exclusive image we see while we are eating. Location can be an asset or liability. If it's an asset, menu prices may be increased to reflect the fact that the location itself adds value. If location is indeed a liability, menu prices may need to be lowered initially in an effort to provide the consumer value needed. Image. It has always been true that customers do not make a purchase unless they want a thing. They are buying more than they want to keep their money. In the food service industry, the thing purchased is often much more than food and drink. So when it comes to the food industry, it is not just food or beverages that customers choose to spend. They also include the image, not just the image of food, but the image of a place that has been captured while they're eating. The exclusive nightclub, the trendy bar, and the hard-to-get-into restaurant are just a few examples of this. Another, of course, even though we have become customers, we also expect better or more trendy spot or location with the place where we eat. Even sometimes, what we almost seem to be paying for is the exclusive image we see while we are eating. In many cases, food service operations become popular because of the unique image they project. According to Edwards, the American management consultant most famous for his work on quality enhancement, stated the simple fact clearly when he observed, "Profit in business comes from repeat customers, customers that boast about your product or service, and that bring friends with them."